When you play a new game for the first time, you typically spend the first few hours learning the basics. Fundamentals like movement and controlling your character are essential. After all, you've got to learn to walk before you can run.
I'm the best, like already. What am I dying from? I got electrocuted or something?
But some players prefer to spend slightly more time mastering specific mechanics before hopping into matchmaking. They understand their games on a molecular level, and are able to push the boundaries of what is and isn't possible. And pushing those limits in the rapidly expanding world of Valorant is Connor Flights Dykes. The big brain British Raze player who, after spending thousands of hours trickshotting in Call of Duty and surfing in CSGO, has established himself as one of Valorant's leading content creators.
One to the right, one to the right side.
Healing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get him now.
Well, go on.
Oh, well, give me a sec. I can't fucking see.
Satchel out. Here comes the party. One enemy remaining.
Oh!
Okay.
Yeah,
Nappy with it.
A frag artist whose creativity has not only inspired others to study his handiwork, but has launched a career that a year ago he could only have dreamed of. So how did Flights go from 360 no-scoping scrubs in Call of Duty to Valorant's beloved blast-packing one-trick? And how is his outrageous playstyle actually helping to raise the game's skill ceiling?
I'm gonna try flying knife him.
Okay, show us.
Satchel out. Satchel out. 10 seconds left.
You're like a bully, honestly.
Okay, so well before he made his name ambushing unsuspecting casuals in Valorant, where did Flights' story begin? Well, Flights grew up in Warrington, England, a large town located between Liverpool and Manchester, known mainly for its museums and music festivals. But like most kids growing up, Flights spent a lot of his time playing video games, which he was introduced to by his father.
The Ratchet and Clank game, and then little games like that. So I was always into gaming from a young age with my dad, which seems like the story most people have when they first get into it. Their dad usually gets them a console or something and they play.
After Flights' parents separated, he ended up moving in with his grandmother, who bought him his very first PS2. From there, he ended up getting a PS3, where he poured hours into Call of Duty, which was the franchise that really ignited his interest in content creation. Inspired by organizations like FaZe and SOAR, Flights would rush home from school every single day and spend hours trying to capture insane trick shots.
This is when I fully started gaming a lot, probably too much. I used to trick shot on COD, which a lot of kids used to do and stuff. I used to do it every day.
But once the hype around Call of Duty began to dwindle away, he turned his sights to CSGO. Kind of.
I had another friend from school who used to play CSGO, but he didn't used to play comp CSGO. He used to just surf. He showed me videos on it, and I had no idea what CSGO was. I had no idea about 1.6, any of them games. I had no clue.
Flights' interest was piqued, and so he began watching videos of players surfing and bunny hopping in custom servers, and the relaxing nature of it inspired him to give it a shot.
So I bought CSGO, and I didn't touch any comp, any casual, anything. I just surfed on the game for about, I'd say, the first 1,000 hours of playing CSGO. I didn't touch a single bit of comp or anything because I didn't know about it or care about it. So I used to just surf and do the bunny hop stuff.
Now, for anyone out there who doesn't actually know what surfing or bunny hopping in Counter-Strike is, allow me to enlighten you. Surfing has been a part of Counter-Strike since 2004, allegedly invented by a player named Marioned. Marioned realized that by holding down the A or D key on your keyboard, you could control your trajectory when sliding across rooftops or objects to gain more speed. And this, combined with bunny hopping, allowed players to master the movement of their character.
He's
here we go.
Already surfing. That usually happens later on, but you know, obviously this is the M4 duel that we're getting to. He's surfing all the
He just doesn't care whatsoever, and he has no idea.
Bunny hoppers essentially combine jumping and strafing so that they're able to gain momentum in the air and propel themselves through the map quicker and with much more control. And it's a mechanic that serious CSGO players actively drill to sharpen their movement around maps.
Just push himself inside of the higher catwalk. Finds one kill onto Jinx though and makes it a 1v1. Lucky on the back of the bomb site. Get right dived on through. Get right with a B-hop spray down.
Eventually, after spending countless hours mastering his in-game movement, Flights finally got the sudden urge to actually play CSGO.
I don't know what made me do it. I just tried comp on CSGO and then really got into that and got good at that pretty quick. And then I had another friend who also played that I found out played CSGO, and he told me about Face It and ESEA, and I had no clue what they was at the time. I was like, oh yeah, he was like, no way you play CS and stuff. I do too. I play Face It and ESEA and stuff. I was like, what is that? I don't know what that is.
From that point on, Flights was hooked. Instead of surfing, he began to grind on Face It in the hope that one day he might be able to compete professionally. And in no time, he found himself hitting rank 10 on the platform. Unfortunately for Flights, breaking into CSGO's already well-established pro and content creation scene proved to be an uphill battle, especially considering the challenges he was facing outside of the server. After dropping out of college, Flights spent the majority of his time working in an Amazon warehouse while taking care of his grandmother. But the monotony of his job was only making him miserable.
I had to walk all the way to my town center, which took about, it was like a 20-minute walk, wait for a coach that was always late, half an hour drive there, get into work, about a 10-hour shift on my own. 10 hours goes by, I'm like, okay, done. Wait for the coach again, always late, walk home again. So it ended up being like 11, 12-hour days on your own, not really speaking to anyone every single day. And I was like, this is mentally draining. I can't do this.
But when Flights found out that his grandma needed hip surgery in 2019, he decided to quit his job and prioritize looking after her.
And so I started caring for her and looking after her. So I try to put as much time into all this as I can, but then there's a lot of times where I have to, I'll care for my nan if I do that in my spare time, or I'll try to just, relax, have time to myself, go on other games off stream or something.
Although Flights had a lot on his plate, he still dreamed of turning his passion for gaming into a profession. And later that year, his ambition was re-energized when Riot Games made an exciting announcement.
Here it is. Project A is our character-based tactical shooter. It's competitive, it has precise gunplay, it's set on a beautiful near-future Earth, and it has a lethal cast of characters, each with their own unique abilities. This is our take on a competitive shooter.
Project A, or Valorant as it would later be known, changed everything for Flights. It offered him the chance to get in on the ground floor of a new and exciting game that promised to have a fully formed competitive scene.
I wanted to try and be the best and go pro. Like, I had that in my mind, sort of. But then I also had the thought of this could be a really big way to pop off on YouTube or Twitch with it early. Because if you jump on it right away and you're doing something no one else is doing, then this is a big chance to do it.
After getting access to the beta in April of 2020, Flights initially tried hitting Valorant's highest rank by playing Phoenix. But it was when he adopted Raze that he truly began to find his groove as an entry fragger.
I did a little boost on Haven. It threw mid onto the mid boxes on B, and I got a kill with it. And I was like, wait, that was sick, like a little satchel boost. Like that was crazy. That was probably the first double satchel thing on the game. I ain't seen any since then or anything. I was like, that's crazy. I'm gonna try do that again. I'm gonna try make a video on just that. So I was going into games and I was just trying random spots. I was finding in custom games little spots where I could place the satchel, and as soon as the barrier lifts, I just jump and try and get there insanely fast.
And once Flights realized the true potential behind Raze's movement, he began dedicating all of his time to mastering the agent's abilities, specifically her blastbacks. He started off with some relatively basic plays before he really started showcasing the nearly endless possibilities with the character.
One enemy remaining.
Wait, don't kill him, knife him, but
Holy shit.
It will not kill my ally. One enemy remaining. One down. Here comes the party. Blow you up.
Oh my god.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Okay, how did...
It was becoming pretty obvious that Flights' vast experience in Counter-Strike's movement communities allowed him to unlock an entirely different element to Raze's kit. As his clips made the rounds on Reddit and his videos hit millions of views, Flights was already getting recognized by the community as the best Raze player around.
You are the best Raze player, dude. Thank you. I don't know about the best. Maybe with the movement stuff, maybe.
And while his early montages were a bit of a throwback to his COD trickshotting days, Flights has made sure that his personality finds a way into his content.
I need a wee so bad. My is about to explode. I can feel it growing in circumference. It's actually becoming a football in my pants.
In time, Flights' growing celebrity led to him crossing paths with Average Jonas and Flexinja, and through their collaborations, they've famously become known as Valorant's one-trick trio.
Let's peek.
yeah, yes sir, he's good at this game.
And it wasn't just Flights' peers that were recognizing his rising profile. In January of 2021, he was approached with the opportunity to take his content to the next level.
One of the general managers of T1 reached out to me. I was like, oh god, this... Then they'd signed Tyler One, they had Faker, they had Brax, they had all these people that, because obviously in CSGO, I looked up to them, to Brax, Skadoodle, everyone. Faker's obviously one of the biggest legends in all of gaming with League. Tyler One, one of the biggest streamers. This was this huge, established, big org.
But as grateful as Flights is for the explosion of his streaming career amidst a global pandemic, he is hopeful that once life goes back to normal, he can finally return to one of his true passions.
I got into Muay Thai in high school, and I really enjoyed that. And then obviously started watching the UFC, and Conor McGregor started blowing up with everything, and then I was like, oh no, MMA is what I want to do now. So I started doing MMA, and I started training. At first I went to a gym in Manchester called SPG Manchester, which is the same like branding as SPG Ireland, which Conor McGregor trained at. But that one at a time, because I was making like no money. It was way too expensive for what there was for how many sessions you're doing. So I was like, oh, I can't afford this. But obviously now, with this, I can afford it. But there's one issue. We've got COVID everywhere, so nowhere's open now.
Regardless of whether he's popping jabs in the gym or skulls in the server, there's no question that Flights' sudden rise to success is a symptom of the work that he's been willing to put in. In the span of just 1 year, he has managed to transform his lifelong passion for gaming into a career that he truly loves. And as meteoric as his rise has been, Flights will never forget the humble beginnings from which it all started.
It all feels surreal, but the fact that it went from just trick-shotting with IRL friends, thinking, you know, a little kid coming home from school playing, to what it is now, I don't know, it's insane. If I get the all by ult, and then I'm gonna go. Oh shit, you're gone. Okay. Oh, you're dead. Is he on site?
No, he hasn't.
Satchel out. Turret out. Here comes the party. Jets grounded.
Hammer.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, play safe now, come on.
Come on. Come on. Can play safe. What a joke.
He's gonna res. He's gonna res.
You're a pussy,
No, I'm
man.
gonna wait for the res to get a next 6k.
You will not kill my ally. One enemy remaining.
Oh, that's what we like. Hey. 6k.
I'm getting a lot of fucking flack in the comments over Valorant shit, and I don't really need to, I don't want to stoke the fires. Are just like, you can just tell in this guy's voice that he hates Valorant. I'm like, what the do I say to that? Well, Flights grew up in Warrington? Warrington? It's not Worcestershire?